All right, guys, you know what this is. You know this is a 2023 Rivian R1S, but what you may not know is that Rivian has just signed a contract with Tesla, so they will be changing out this port right here to a Tesla port. Now, that's not going to happen until about 2026 models, but beginning next year, they're going to be sending out adapters so that you can use your Rivian truck at the superchargers. Oh, I also forgot to tell you that Rivian just bought a better route planner. So now your navigation is going to be a better route planner. And with a better route planner, it can figure up the weather conditions, your battery, and distance, terrain. It can factor all of those things in and tell you how much time it's going to take you to get to chargers and schedule your charging trips. So that is a huge win for Rivian. Well done. All right, no, I don't have another announcement, but let's get to what you guys came here for. Let's take a look at this Rivian R1S. So this is the Adventure line. It is all-wheel drive. It seats 7. And it has 4 permanent magnet motors. Those 4 permanent magnet motors give it 835 horsepower with 908 foot-pounds of torque. You get 0 to 60 in 3.1 seconds. That is extremely fast. And tell you what, when I was riding in it, it was ridiculous. So this does have the large battery in it. So it's got a 135 kilowatt hour battery, 129 kilowatt hour usable. That will get you up to 316 miles, and that just depends on the wheels that you have on there. If you choose the standard battery will get you up to 260 miles, again, depending on what size wheels that you put on. Now the wheelbase on this, if you look at it, it looks like it's pretty good size, but the wheelbase on it is actually 121 inches. That's 14 inches shorter than the Rivian R1T. And the whole length of this vehicle is 200 inches, which is actually 16 inches shorter than the Rivian R1T. So it's shorter than the truck, which is crazy. You would expect this to be a lot bigger. Everything from the front all the way back to the doors, to the back of the front doors right here, that is all exactly the same as the truck. It's this back part is what is different. Now you got rid of the gear tunnel. Obviously there's no more gear tunnel there. And now you have seating for 7, 3 rows. It's pretty awesome. And one thing, before we get to that, I want to show you guys this front because everybody likes to see the fronts. If you haven't seen this yet, it's pretty awesome. You can open it several different ways, but look how much space there is in that. That is massively huge. It's pretty awesome. We've used it to put groceries in before. It is excellent. Pretty cool. I think down in here, you've got this pad here. It can actually come out and look, there's even more storage underneath there. So, it's pretty nice. This light bar across the front. At first, I didn't like it, but it's grown on me. I still feel that the front of this kind of looks cartoonish, kind of like it's gonna start talking to me at some point, like the Disney Cars movie, but it started to grow on me, and really, when you're inside the truck, who cares what the front looks like? You don't see it. All right, let's move around to the back. Check out this cargo area. Now, this is another cool feature of this Rivian R1S. It's a split hatch. Look at that. That is pretty awesome. So look, we've got this little tailgate right here that drops down. Now this tailgate, they say, will hold up to 1,000 pounds, which is pretty amazing. And right now, this has got the Rivian charger that comes along with it. I don't know if you've seen the charger yet. But let's open this box up, and there is the Rivian charger. Don't want to take it out of the package, but you can see it's got a Rivian logo on it. Believe that it is probably a 40 amp charger. Don't believe these charge on an 80 amp system like the Lightnings do. Okay, so back here, you've got a decent amount of space back here. You can put up a couple cases back here. You can easily get your groceries back here without any issues. Now, looking back here, you also have 110 plug here, and then you have another 12-volt plug here. This right here, we're going to check that out here in just a second. I'll show you what that does. If you look down here, you slide that out, there is your air compressor. So you still get the air compressor just like the truck. You also have these tie-down points right here. These can slide into different positions, and they will lock in there, and you can tie over to the one on the other side. So you can put a net back here or something like that to hold your groceries. So then, if we take this part out right here, we lift this up and we look, there we've got a first aid kit, tire fill kit, and then guess what? We're not done yet. Look under here. You take this out, look at that space. You take that out of there, you have a huge amount of space in this backside. So you technically, if you needed to keep those seats up, you could easily keep that third row seat up. Now, let's drop this third row down. Very simple to do. Press this button right here, and you just push them down. Same thing on this side. Down. Now you have a lot bigger space. I will have the total cubic feet down at the bottom of the screen here. That makes a huge amount of space. Also, for the third row passengers, there's a cup holder. And inside here, if you flip these up, there are 2 USB ports in there. It looks like 2. Nope, it's just 1 USB port. So they can charge their phones back here. And I believe there's 1 on each side. Yes, there is. So plenty of places to charge. And if you look up here, look, third row vents. There is not a lot of third row SUVs that have vents back here. So that is a huge plus. Excellent job, Rivian. All right, so let's check out what these buttons do right here. So we're going to push that. That's going to drop that side. You're going to push that one. It's going to drop that side. Now, if you may have to move the seats forward just a little bit to get those to drop all the way down. You slide them the rest of the way back. But that will drop that down for you guys so you have plenty of space. All right, so those seats are all the way down now. You can see how much space there is back here. Look at that. Huge amount of space. You'll pop around to the back. There, you can see how much space there is back here. It's absolutely huge. Wow. A lot of space. Bottom tailgate part is not powered. So you do have to lift it up and you do have to pull it down by pressing that little button. But the top is powered. So you've got your button right here. And then that will close up. Nice and tight. All right, let's go check out the inside. Now you can see in the back, you can look at the stitching on these seats. They are awesome. The Rivian logo up there. Nice mats. These mats are pretty cool. Back here, you have a full climate control for the rear here with vents. The backs of these seats are pretty nice. They've got these little bungee cord elastic system. Then they have a hook up here where you can hang your bag and a USB port to charge your phone. Inside the doors, you've got the same thing. You've got this bungee system. So you can store a lot of stuff inside those. It's pretty nice. Let's get in here, see how much space there is. Front seat is positioned where I normally sit. So you can see how much room I've got here. There is plenty of room inside here. We go around and we go look at the top here. I mean, there's probably 4 or 5 inches there. Headroom, no problem. You've got a handle right up here with a speaker. Centerpiece right here. You've got a couple cup holders down here. And I think that's it. Yeah, that does not lift up. Looks like it would lift up, but it doesn't. That back. All right, now let's see how it goes getting into this third row. All right, so getting into the third row, they have a button on top right here, and we're going to push that button, and they will automatically fold up. You push them the rest of the way up, and then you have a narrow area to step into. So let's step up inside here. All right. So I am in the back now. I made it through that little area, and it's perfectly fine. The seats feel a little comfortable back here. Now, right now, you can see how my knees are. I have kind of a high floor here, so my knees are at this little odd angle, and that may not be comfortable for a long period of driving, but for kids, it's probably fine. Adults might be, just might be a little uncomfortable, but, you know, it should be okay. Now, you can pull this back, and it does adjust, so you can slide that second row anywhere you need to. But if I pull it all the way back, that is locked in all the way back. Now, the seat is sitting pretty much straight up and down. If you look at this seat and you see how it is angled back, my knees, if they put that seat all the way back, now I am not going to be able to fit back here. But as long as they don't tilt the seat back too far, then everything should be okay. Okay, so now let's check out this front. Now, the one thing I always forget that Rivian has is a flashlight. I know you guys have probably seen this 100 times, 4,000 times, but check it out. You get a flashlight. That is pretty awesome. That's pretty impressive. I really think that's cool. All right, let's stick it back in there. Front doors are basically the same way. You have the front pockets here that have the elastic on them and stretch out. Now, one cool thing that I didn't realize is this does not have a glove box. No glove box over there, so guess what you have? And I missed this the first time when I had the R1T. There is your little storage. So you can put your insurance papers and stuff down in there, and they're kind of hidden out of the way. Most people are not even going to realize that that's there. It's pretty cool. Get inside now, where it's a little bit cooler. All right, so we are inside, and it has a really good digital display there. The shit's charging right now. And then look over here, and depending on your mode that you have this in, the highest mode is going to be 15 inches, and that's going to be for your off-road setting. And then if you go to sport, it's going to put you in the lowest mode, and all-purpose is going to put you in the standard height, which is pretty cool. Now, the other thing this thing does have is dog mode, which I have the dog mode on right now just to keep it cool in here while I was working on the stuff, showing you guys the stuff on the outside. Now, this is like similar to Tesla. You have these vents and you can control them around, move them around. It does have heated and cooled seats. You have a lot of buttons across the bottom that does most of your features, which you can hit for your charging. Then you've got several different things that you can do here. You've got stuff on your car and your access, your keys, and what unlocks everything. It's pretty awesome. And then you have your navigation. Now, this one has not been updated yet with the better route planner navigation, but I'm sure that it will be getting it soon. But this is what it looks like. You can see where my house is right here. Not sure if we can zoom in. There we are. This is where we're at this house. And you see, I live all around farmland. Gotta love the Midwest, right? The thing that I like the most, and my wife loves, is this wood grain going around here. They call it reclaimed wood, and it isn't smooth. It's got a little texture to it, so it feels like real wood. Other than that, it's just the design of the seats are awesome. And what else do we got? You do have a space down here where women can put their purses or whatever you want to put in here. The other thing is this little center console thing is pretty cool. Press a little button, pops open, split sideways, and that is awesome because it it's easier to get through. You can see everything. Instead of having a giant thing you got to pull up out of the way, this you can see right down in there. You got 2 USB plugs down in there and plenty of other storage space. This pad right here, I'm not sure if this one is equipped with it because it doesn't have like a charging symbol on it, but if you get that package, this is also a charging for your wireless charger for your phone. Up top here, you have just your SOS buttons, but check this out. Look at this panoramic roof. Look how big that is. It goes all the way back behind the second row. It stops and then it builds another panel behind in the third row. So the third row occupants also have a panoramic roof. Pretty awesome. The last thing that I want to show you before we get done here is we have a Bluetooth speaker by Rivian. So you connect that in the infotainment screen and you can take this out and set it by your campsite or wherever you want to set it, out at the beach, and you can play your music from your truck. That's pretty awesome. Well, that is the Rivian R1S on the outside and the inside. So are you guys ready to take it for a drive? Let's go check this out, see how the ride is, and is it as good as the R1T? Can it possibly be better than the R1T? I don't know, we're going to have to find out. All right, so first thing is that it is just like a Tesla. You just press down to go to drive. Pretty simple. Do have the cooled seats on. It's mighty toasty out here right now. All right, you guys are gonna get to see the lovely Midwest. If you have it on the off-road setting, you can only go 20 miles per hour. I didn't know that. That's pretty interesting. I guess they want to make sure that you don't break something. All right, so we are now in sport mode. Now, of course, this is the low, not quite the lowest. It is low. Lowest would be when you put it into kneel mode. And I think possibly if you go into conserve, maybe it takes you down a little bit lower, a little better aerodynamics. I'm not sure about that. But driving this, and you guys may see this while we're driving these country roads, is that the difference between the truck and this SUV. Of course, you are a taller vehicle. You have more space back there because you have a cover basically over the truck. Now that causes it to have just a little bit more body roll because you've got a little bit more weight up above. The other thing that we have noticed is that the suspension is just a little bit different. And sometimes it can be just slightly annoying. Not bad enough that you're like, I can't drive this truck, it's driving me nuts, but just enough that you may need to adjust the setting on it to set it the way that you prefer it to drive. It does have a little bit more bounce into it. Some people are actually putting it on a lower setting to stiffen up the suspension. It has a tight, hard impact with the small things, but the big things, big dips in the road and stuff, you seem like you're kind of floating and bouncing. And some people like that, some don't. So if you're one of those, prepare to adjust your settings so that you can get a little stiffer ride if that's what you prefer. All right, there is nobody coming. We're gonna go right out here and we will do a quick 0 to 60. And it's gonna be quick because it's 0 to 60, 3.1 seconds. This is going to be extremely fast. Ready? 1, 2, 3. We were way past 60. I didn't even count it, but yeah, we were way past 60. It's pretty amazing. All these all-wheel 4 motors, extremely fast, extremely efficient. Now let's go in and get up here into our all-purpose mode. I'm gonna raise up just a little bit. And we're gonna cruise for a little while. I gotta take this back to the dealership today, which, speaking of the dealership, it is Heller Ford in El Paso, Illinois. Their information should be up above my head somewhere. And give them a call. If you are interested in a Rivian, they have been getting them in and selling them. It's probably somewhere around 6 or 8 so far, Rivian R1Ss, and they also have an R1T there, and they've sold several R1Ts over the past year. So make sure you check in with them on that. And just in case, if you're looking for any other type of Ford, like a Lightning or a Mach-E, they have plenty of those too. So give them a call, check them out, check out their website. They'll help you out. So I want to talk about the comfort in here. Now, everything is in a good position. It's easy to reach. You can reach this big screen awesomely. You can see this big screen awesomely. And you can move the steering wheel in and out, all that stuff. I don't like the fact that it is, to do that stuff, you have to go into the settings, into the screen, which I know it's the same as what Tesla does. But I don't like having to do that and then try to move my steering wheel with these toggles and my mirrors and stuff. I just would rather have a switch underneath here that I can just push and move my steering wheel around if I want. It's so much easier, and buttons for your mirrors on this side over here. I know it's probably a little bit added cost because it's adding in buttons that they see you don't really necessarily need. But as a consumer, most of us like those little things to have buttons. It's kind of annoying to go in here and change everything around. Now, one plus they did is you do have your wipers and everything are on this stock over on this side, which is nice. I like having that there. But these seats, I love the design. I think they look amazing. They look like they are good, comfortable seats. But for me and my wife, when we were riding yesterday, we had to drive about 3 hours. And both of us, at about 2 hours, were starting to get uncomfortable. My lower back was bothering me. Even having lumbar was bothering us. My wife uses lumbar all the time, and even that she couldn't get comfortable with. So, but that it could be just us, and other people that may have back issues may have a little bit of a similar type of reaction to it, but other people may be just fine. They may really like the seats and think they're great. We feel that they are a little on the stiff side. They don't have enough give to them to let your body kind of sink into the seat. But other than that, they are great. We like how they have power, everything on these seats, memory, everything. You get in and it just sets the truck up the way that you want to drive. This one does not have the Meridian sound system. They actually went to their own speaker setup. It does still sound very, very good. I don't know what the Meridian actually sounded like. Meridian's a good company, so I'm sure it sounded phenomenal. But these actually do sound really good. So I don't have anything to really compare that to. So if you're a stereo person, just get in one and check it out, see if it works for you. It works great for me. Regen on this truck is very strong. You can change the regen if you want to, and you can change your ride and all of that. There's a lot of things that you can do with this truck. You know, there's not a lot out there that have an active air suspension that you can change and adjust and move up and down and do all that type of stuff. Make it fit the right way that you want it. And this truck just does that. This truck does have lane keep assist, lane centering, and adaptive cruise. So, and all of them work well. I haven't really had any phantom braking yet that I've recognized. When we drove the R1T, I did have a couple times where it thought somebody was in the middle of the road, but they weren't actually there. It looked like somebody was crossing the road, but nobody was there. I don't know if it was a ghost or what it was, but it slammed on the brakes. It about threw us into the dash and started flashing and screaming at us. So I haven't had any of those issues since that. And that was a year ago when I checked that truck out. So they probably made some software adjustments and enhancements. So they've probably taken care of that. So if you are looking for a 3-row, 7-seater SUV that can go off-road, that can go camping, this is the SUV for you.
but it can be a little pricey. And this one starts out at $75,500 for the Adventure package. This one has the 22-inch wheels, which was a $1,700 option. They also added the underbody shielding, which was another $1,700 option. You add in the destination fees, and this one came in right at around $80,500. This is well worth the $80,000 to go off-roading and do everything that this does, and the speed, and it's just the whole total package. You're not going to get that in a cheaper SUV. The Kia EV9 was the first mainstream 3-row electric SUV to hit the market, and it won all kinds of awards. It was just crazy. Everybody was giving this a best of award, and I was like, okay, I mean, it's kind of cool or whatever, but really just after a couple of days of driving this, I understand. I get it. This thing is awesome. Now, I have no doubt that if you went and test drove one of these, you would fall in love with it also. You would be like, this is the best SUV that I have ever driven. Now, I'm going to show you everything there is to know about this, and even all the tiny little quirky things that they don't tell you about in every video. So let's go take a look at this, and I'll show you why you will definitely want to go get one of these. I will have to say that when I first saw this as a concept at the Chicago Auto Show, I was like, there's no way they're going to make this thing. It was too squared off, too boxy. The wheels looked weird, and it was just kind of crazy. But actually, they did make it. It is really, really similar to the one that they made as a concept. It may not be quite as squared off and hexagon-y look. It is a little more rounded, give a little bit better efficiency, but it basically looks a lot like it. Especially these crazy wheels that I was looking at. I was like, how are they going to do that? Those are awesome. And if you look at the lighting here, this daytime running light coming down all the way across here, it is very noticeable at night. And I don't know if you can see it, but there are little LEDs in this front fascia right here that's all lit up. Probably can't see it. It looks really awesome at night. But let's look around at the profile at the side of this thing. And this color is a beautiful bluish teal color. Let's go take a look at the cargo space back here, because it's got a lot of room. The back here looks awesome also, and I'm kind of seeing a little bit of Volvo with this out right here and then tucking in like that. Kind of reminds me of the back end of a Volvo. You got a power tailgate in this GT line, and there you've got 20 cubic feet of space here in the back. Here is your charging cable. I like that it's Velcroed down. You can set your tailgate right there, and you have a 12 volt, so that's pretty nice. And then on this side, you do have a 120 plug-in. So we're good there. And then you have your emergency cable release right here. Let's see what we got underneath here. Not much space underneath here. Tire repair kit looks like, and front license plate cover. So not a lot right there. Now to drop the third row, we're gonna pull on this handle right here. Drops headrest. Well, try this again, and down. All right, other side, pull. Let it go, down it goes. There you now have 44 cubic feet of space. You can also see back here, you have cup holders, little trays for stuff, USB plug-ins back here, and a speaker. Everything both sides. And the vent for the back is up above your head, when it looks like there's some lighting around it too. That's pretty cool. All right, now to drop the second row from back here, it is powered. So you can press here and it's going to slide back and then it tips forward slowly. And there you go. And we'll do the other side. It's not the fastest thing in the world, but they're down and it is relatively flat, and that's actually pretty good. So now you have 82 cubic feet of space back here. All right, easy to sleep on. Throw you a mattress back here, go camping. It's an EV. It's got power that you can turn on. You can run your systems all night and keep you comfortable in here. All right, bring the seats up. You do the same thing. You just press the button and they pop right back up. I love having the powered seats. It's not really necessary to have a powered third row, but a powered second row, that is pretty nice. Third row, again, just pull these handles up, hold it in place and let go of the handle and it will stay. Pull the handle, get it back here. If you don't hold it in place, it will stay, but it's not going to be in the best position. There we go. Okay, so one of the other big questions with any EV is, does it have a frunk? Does the Kia EV9 have a frunk? Well, let's take a look. Here's the moment of truth. Lift it up, nice hydraulic thing, and yes, we do have a small little frunk. Not huge, but I mean, you probably could put a very small suitcase or a bag up here. Easily put the charging cable up here if you'd rather do that to get it out of the way of the back, but it does have a frunk. So since it has a frunk and obviously there's no engine in there, then I guess we need to hear about our powertrain options, charging, battery sizes. I think you guys are ready for that, right? You have multiple drivetrain options, including a rear-wheel drive with 215 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque, gets you 0 to 60 in 7.7 seconds, or an all-wheel drive system with 379 horsepower and 516 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds, and yes, it will do it in 4.5 seconds. This thing is an amazing machine, very, very quick. You have two battery options. One is a 76.1 kilowatt hour battery with up to 230 miles of range, or you can go with the big battery, the 99.8 kilowatt hour with up to 304 miles. Now this all-wheel drive GT line gets up to 270 miles. Max charging speed of 230 kilowatts, which will add about 100 miles in 13 minutes. Charging time from 10 to 90% is about 37 minutes. This Kia EV9 also has the park assist function. So here is the key fob. We're gonna start it. So we're gonna click on and hold the auto start. Okay. So it is now started. Now you can see I can go forward and backward on this key. So we're gonna hold down and we're gonna go backwards to back out of this spot. And there it goes. It has sensors to make sure you don't hit anything. And then we can go back forwards. All right, and it's gonna roll forward and we can stop it. Pretty cool feature. Okay, how are you guys feeling about the outside of this thing? I think it is awesome. So I think it's about time to go to the inside because there's so many cool things on the inside. So if you guys are enjoying this video, give me a thumbs up so other people can enjoy it also. And let's go inside. Okay, let's take a look at the inside here. You do have a bottle compartment down here in the bottom. I like this material right here. It looks pretty cool. And then you have all your window and mirror buttons right there. And then here is all of your controls, including your heated steering wheel, your massaging seats, and then you've got heated and ventilated and 2 memory functions. Here are your powered seats, and I'm gonna tell you right now that these things are extremely comfortable. They are some of the most comfortable seats I have been in. I know I've been saying this lately, but they are making some really, really good seats. But this thing, the massaging seats, it massages your lumbar while you're driving. It does a whole bunch of different things. But one of the coolest thing is it has the thigh extender, but this has the relaxation mode. So we hold this button right down and look at this. It folds the leg thing out, tilts the seat back, lets you just kind of relax, almost like a zero gravity chair. Pretty cool. One touch and everything goes back to where you had it. So yeah, so those seats are freaking awesome. And like I said, I cannot believe how comfortable they actually are. Well, let's get inside and let's take a look at the rest of these features. So the color combination in here, I think looks amazing. I love this light in the dark. It is just one of my favorite interiors. And this one, you do have ventilation and heat on the passenger side also. And then you come across here, I don't know for sure, but this possibly could be a speaker back here. It kind of has that material on it. This stuff here is kind of hard, but really it doesn't matter. And it's not hard plastic up here. This is hard plastic, you can hear that. And then you come across here and the venting and everything, this just looks nice. It's just nice and clean, a clean design. You do have your glove box, and it's a very, very large glove box. And then we go across here, and this plastic piece here, this has some haptic buttons in here, and they actually work really well. They feel a little touch, and a tunk. Makes a tunk. So they work really well. And then we'll go across here, and here is your driver display. This thing has a lot of information in it. It looks really, really good. Sorry about the glare, but I can't see a glare. The camera's picking it up though. So you got all your information there in the center, and on your steering wheel, you have your option button there. You can switch around to a few different things. There's your driver assistance. You can go back to your regular. You have a trip for after you get done charging, what your current trip is, power distribution, your tire pressure, your range guide, and then since the last time you reset this. All right, so that's pretty cool. It's got everything you need here. You've got battery percentage down here. You have, this is level 3 regen is what it's set on. If you pull the handle one more time, that will pop it into iPedal. So that's going to give you your one pedal driving. And then you can actually take that down with these right here, take it back down to level 3, level 2, level 1, however you feel comfortable driving. And then you have your maximum distance, your miles, and then what you have left, and then what your minimum would be. I think that's cool that they put a maximum and minimum on there, and a lot of that's going to depend on your climate control. Now, one thing I want to show you is I'm going to pull this back, and this is where your little climate control display is. And if we pull back here and you get in my driving thing, can you see your climate control stuff right here? Nope, it's hidden behind the steering wheel. So you can't really see it very well. So you got to lean out and around the side. I don't like that. They probably, they should have extended this out a little farther, left this blank, and then put in this and maybe the climate after, or the climate and then this. They should have done something, but this view is not very good. No matter how you position this steering wheel, it is not going to make it better. This is all the way out. You can even take it all the way in. And that's all the way in. It just does not really help either way. We're going to go back over. So now we're going to go to the infotainment screen. So you can see all of this. You have 3 levels of auto on your climate control and everything like that. You also do have climate controls down here, which are actual physical buttons. Those are nice. And there is your volume button. Up here in the screen, you have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and it works really well. It's just a little, and then you go here, we can go back into the Kia, and this is going to do your second row warmer and ventilation. So you got second row ventilation also, and second row seat control. I can actually click here and I can move the seats around. That's pretty cool. be able to do that from here, and I can actually fold the seats from here also. Wow, that is impressive. You do also have, go into your setup here, and this is where your vehicle setup is. You've got all your driver assistance features. This does have highway driver assist on it. So you have highway driving assist, you have highway lane change assist. You can do your drive modes in here. You do also have a drive mode on the steering wheel right down here, which I forgot. I'll come back to the steering wheel here in just a second. So you can change that. You also have a custom mode right here, your My Mode. You can set up how you want the car to behave while you're driving. You have an active sound, so you can have sound playing through the speakers inside the car. So it kind of just gives you a noise to listen to. Your climate, there's your seat. You can change your seats again. The ergo motion seat, that is your... It'll every 30 minutes, it will do lumbar stabilization. It's got smart posture every hour. So it'll move the seat around while you're driving, keep you alert and refreshed. Lighting, doors, your digital keys, and then some convenience things for you there. We'll go back out. We go over to, not drive mode. Go back out. I want to go into EV. So inside your EV, you have battery conditioning, so you can turn that on when you are heading to a charger. It will bring it up to temperature. You can activate the utility mode. This is what I was talking about. You turn this on, you can sleep in the back. It will keep everything powered up and running all night long to keep you comfortable. You have a smart regeneration, so you can do a faster deceleration. It's going to put more power back into the battery from that, or you can do a normal deceleration. That's up to you. And then you also have the paddles on the steering wheel to make those adjustments. And then it will tell you that charging has started once you plugged in, so you can set the volume for that. Pretty nice. I really do like all of this stuff. It does work very well. All of this is really nice. Okay, so everything you can see, this is really snappy too. It's really quick. Does whatever you touch, it just goes to it. And the only bad thing about here is you can't rest your hand on here and try to push stuff because you'll accidentally push buttons. That's what I did just a minute ago. Okay, let's go back to the steering wheel. Sorry, I skipped over that. I usually get this first. And so this is set up as regular Kia steering wheel. It looks just like our Kia or the Hyundai, very similar. I do like that these buttons are gray and kind of matches the steering wheel, because some of the ones that are silver, you can't actually see the buttons very well or what they say on them. Take this backwards just a little bit. So on this side, you have all your driver assistance features, your cruise control, your adaptive cruise control, your lane centering with your highway driver assist. And then on this side, you have all of your stereo and voice recognition controls here. Down here, you have a 4-wheel lock. So you can lock that 4-wheel drive in, and then you also have your drive modes. Drive modes will change the gauges. So you've got normal, sport, my drive, and snow. And eco. So the other thing that happens is when you put it in sport mode, it will pull in these bolsters up close to you and hold you really tight for accelerating and cornering. Pretty cool function. Also on the steering wheel, you see the stalk down here. You just twist this to go to drive, and then reverse, and then you can just one time without your foot on the brake and it will go to neutral. And then your power button is right down here. It actually took me a little while to find this. I was looking somewhere over here, which would normal place that it would be. But they put it under there. It was very easy for me to get used to though. Your lights are all on a regular stock instead of being down here where I normally thought they would be. But this has got your charge port door, and then you can open up your frunk and your hatch, your traction control. You can shut that off, and your electronic parking brake. This side is actually going to control all of your wipers for your front and your rear. So down here, we've got a USB-C, and it will charge and will connect to your infotainment screen. And then you also just have a plain charging cord right here, another USB-C. Down here, we have a huge compartment underneath here, And you see I've got a whole bunch of stuff down in there. It will hold everything. The main reason that you have all of that down here is because up here is your center armrest. That's all you have up here. It's very, very small. But there is your wireless phone charger right here. Underneath this little tambour door, you do have a couple cup holders, and these are the cool ones where you can press the button and they just shoot out. Same here. This one is a larger one. You can see how much bigger that is. It actually will hold a good size water bottle about that big around. My wife's water bottle fit in here. It's the only SUV that we've had recently that we've been able to fit that bottle in. Pretty cool. This is one of the cool features. You have a fingerprint scanner. So you can actually have this attached to your profile, and whenever you press this, it will read your fingerprint, and then it will start this. So you don't have to press that button, and then it will set up your seat, set up all your modes. However you have your profile set up, it will put the car in those settings. So that is freaking awesome. And you got auto hold back here. You have trail descent, your camera. So here are your cameras. So there is a front view, the rear view. Here is a 360 view that you can spin around. So that is pretty cool. And then what else do we have here? Settings. Okay, just some parking settings. All right. That's nice. You got a few different features there. And then, of course, you have parking assist also. Okay, we do have a sunroof in this one, and it doesn't have a manual shade, or it has a manual shade, not an electric shade. So it just has a small one there, but there is a second one back there. But I do have a button for the second one. So if we push the button, and there is the second one for your second and third row passengers. So this one's going to actually open this right here. There we go. And there's that beautiful sky. This one is also equipped with a heads-up display, which is really hard to see during the day through a camera. So that's everything from the front. So now I'm going to go get in that second row, and we'll see how well I fit back there. I'm about 6 foot, so I'm about a normal size adult. We'll just see how it goes. All right, door opens very wide, not quite 90 degrees, but close. And sliding in here, driver's seat is in my driving position, and you can see, yeah, I probably got about 10 inches between me and the seat in front of me, and I'm actually kind of sitting a little relaxed. Good 8 to 10 inches, not a problem. Above my head, we are about probably 3 to 4 inches above my head, so space in here is awesome. Really good. Powered second row seats, that's freaking awesome. What all can I do with this thing? Oh, I got a thigh extender. Look at that. Okay, now I'm gonna break my legs. Okay, that's all the farther it goes. Now you can see I'm kind of wedged in here, but wow, they got one of these in here. That's cool. Wow, that is super cool. All right, so then I can tilt. I can tilt also. Look at this. Oh my gosh. That is awesome. You can do relaxation mode in the back also. This is nuts. And the seat, yeah, I am good. This is awesome. Wow. You do not see this in any other 3-row SUVs out there. You just don't see this. This is freaking awesome. I definitely want one of these, even though I don't need 3 rows. Okay, I'm going to show you what else is going on here because it's all cool. Okay, so there is the door panel. You got a water bottle holder right there. And of course, you've got your window control. You do have a sunshade back here, but you also have heated and ventilated seats in the second row. Wow, these are just awesome. These seats were really comfortable too. And back here, you have a mat pocket, so that kind of pulls out. And then you got 2 cup holders. You got USB plugs right here on both sides of the seats. And you can maneuver this first row seat if you need to from back here, forward and backwards. You have vents up above your head, so those are good. And then here is your climate control for the back. All right, so there is something really cool back here, and I'm going to show you right now. So this right here, we're going to pull this out, and look, you got this whole thing comes out, and you have a tray. So you got all of that. That's pretty cool. And then you can slide this up, and there's a huge cubby in here. Look how deep that is. That is wild. Wow. Trying to get you to see how deep that is, but that is pretty deep. I mean, look how deep my hand goes in there. That's like forearm depth. That is awesome. Love it. So since I am simply amazed by this second row, I'm kind of curious to see what's going on in that third row back there, if I can fit. There's been some that have been really tight, but let's do this. All right, to get in the back, we're gonna press, let's see what this button does. Okay, it's gonna move forward, and okay. So that's how I'm gonna get into the back row. Now, this doesn't have a center console, so you can go between the seats if you need to, but let's see if I can fit in here. So let's put this leg in first and pull through. Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, got in here pretty decent. The floor is a little low, not too bad though. I think I'll be pretty comfortable here. But the question is, what happens when this seat comes back? So we're gonna have to see how this works. What's this button do? Okay, here we go. We're moving. You can stop now. Yeah, I am kind of smashed back here. But I wonder if we have, it's a little tight getting out. I wonder if we put this seat back, it's gonna go right there. What if I move this all the way to the front? Okay, that's as far as it'll go. And we can still see, I can still sit here without any problem. I'm just not quite touching, barely touching. Let's say, let me put it back just a little bit. Go back just a little bit so I can yeah, I'm good right here, no problem. Okay, now if we open this, it goes way farther forward, but will it go back to where I had it set? So we get in, sit down, hit the button, and it's coming back, and okay. Now it moved away from my knees. That is nice. So depending on how you have your seat set, it will come back, and it can kind of smash you because it did it to me earlier. But once I set the seat in front of me to where I was comfortable, as far forward as I could go, when this goes back, it actually comes in and it resets itself back into that spot so you don't smash this third row person. Pretty cool, nice function. Way to go, Kia. We talked about it earlier. We do have some cup holders back here, USB plugs. No, we don't. We do have vents up above our head, so that's good. So now there's the front. You can see that really well. It's really clean, nice looking. So back here on my side, I have a handle. So we can pull this handle and we can tilt the seats back. So that's pretty cool. Or you can straighten them up, or we can tilt them back. All right. Great, great, great. Okay, plenty. There is room back here. You can relax, everything like that. So I am very impressed. I really do approve. This thing is awesome. I told you it was awesome. It was gonna be really cool, and I believe you'll want one. If you just go test drive one, you'll fall in love with this thing. Now I know the big question is, how much does it cost? As much as you may love it, is it gonna fit in your budget? So let's go over some numbers right now, and then we're gonna take it out for a drive. So there are multiple trims of this EV9. For pricing, I'm going to start you out with the base model rear-wheel drive light with the standard battery. It's going to get you 230 miles, and it's going to start at $54,900. Now, if you bump up to the rear-wheel drive light long range with the big battery, that's where you're going to get that 304 miles. That starts at $59,200. This all-wheel drive GT line starts at $73,900, and the one you see in front of you with all the options and destination fee, look at $78,430. Now, I think it's time for us to take this for a drive. Man, this thing is freaking quick. Wow. All right, we got a perfect opportunity right here after this Camaro goes by, which they don't make anymore. And we're gonna pull right out here. We're gonna do 0 to 60. All right, ready? Is the car coming? Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. And that is 60. Woo! This thing is awesome. I love it. Jeez, I just don't understand. I don't know. I can't explain it. I can't explain it. I love this thing. The only thing that really makes me feel good about driving, other than this one right here, would be either the Rivian R1S, which is a lot higher price point, even just to start. The other one would be the Explorer ST. It just is fun and it sounds really cool. This one, it is just so comfortable. It's so comfortable to drive. Everything about it. I mean, it just, the seating area is comfortable. The ride is smooth, even though this thing weighs almost 6,000 pounds and it just glides over the bumps. Yeah, some of the little ones you can feel that are really sharp, but everything else is just butter smooth. I don't know how they did it. They did a great job with the suspension. Feels really good. Cornering, I did take one corner, a sharp corner, relatively fast, and it did kind of dive into the corner. So that kind of was a little unsettling. But this is not a sports car either. But so it did basically as well as could be expected. I would not expect to take this, take a 45 mile an hour curve and try to do this thing at 70. I would not advise that. It's not going to be able to do that with this much weight. But it did very, very well for what it's supposed to do. The 379 horsepower on this is pretty awesome, but with electric vehicles, it's not about the horsepower, it's about the torque. And with 515 pound-feet of torque, this thing launches like a mother. This thing is awesome. The only thing that beats this right now from a launch as a 3-row SUV is the Rivian R1S, because that thing you can get under 3 seconds on. Or around 3 seconds. This is 4.5 seconds. 4.5 seconds. Almost 6,000 pound vehicle going 4.5 seconds, 0 to 60. It's insane. And a lot of fun. So I like all the cool stuff in here, the quirky kind of things. This is wide open. This center console is really nice. Everything is laid out in here really well. There wasn't much that I could find that I didn't like about it. I think the driver assistance features, some of them need to be upgraded a little bit. The lane keep assist really seems to not like, even if you get close to the line and it wants to shove you back over, jerk you back over. It is kind of aggressive. Especially if you're on a country road and you're trying to get around someone else that's coming, and you have to fight it to make sure that it doesn't swerve over in front of the other person. So that's a little concerning. But other than that, most of everything works great. The steering wheel feels good. Everything just I don't know. I am impressed, and like I said, I can see why this thing won so many awards. I want to give it the best 3-row SUV from off-the-shelf rides right now. If I had an award to give them, I would give them just over the couple days that I drove this thing, and yep, let's get going. You can't hardly keep your foot out of it. I love it. And then when it's just cruising, it just does a great job. The miles that you're going to get out of this are going to be very accurate. You'll probably get a little bit more. I know some have gotten less, some have gotten more, but in my real world EV efficiency test, it did very, very well. That video will be coming up on the channel very soon, so you don't want to miss that. So I hope you guys have really enjoyed looking at this EV9 and enjoyed this video. If you have, hit that thumbs up button for me. That would be great. Then click on the videos that's on the screen. One I put up there for you, and the other one YouTube thinks you're going to enjoy. So I think you're going to like them both. So you have a blessed day, and maybe I'll see you in that next video.